Hello and welcome back to your last episode sa series in historical background of criminal investigation. And again with me, Sir Vince as your instructor. So, four-person, Thomas Barnes, Alphonse Bertillon, Paul Kirk, and the sensational case of Miranda versus Arizona. So, let's start with Thomas Barnes. Si Thomas Barnes is the big police na sinasabi nila yun yung tawag sa kanya. He is known kasi sa kanyang keen-minded individual with great detective techniques. So with his great detective techniques na develop niya yung criminal modus operandi or method or mode of operation. So yeah, may nahuli siya na ganyan. So with information given with him, pag nakikipag-usap sa mga nahuhuli, na-decode niya na kung paano nga ba ang pattern sa mga criminal acts na ginagawa nila. So, let's dig deeper kay Thomas Barnes. Si Thomas Barnes nga is the big police, tawag nila dyan eh. Kilala siya as a most ruthless and greatest detective kasi he also rises from the rank. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya yung napalakas ng system na nalagay siya sa taas. So, from the lowest rank, so inakyat niya, dinaanan niya ng lahat ng rango bago siya umabot sa detective. Sa parang tinatawag nating head detective na si Thomas Barnes sa City Police Department. So, ganito, kasi American history siya, nasolve niya yung mga sensational cases tsaka high-profile cases din nung panahon na yon sa mga gangs in New York. So, ang mga nahuli niya dito is likewise yung case ni yung Manhattan's Jack the Ripper, copycat killer yan, nasolve niya yan, as well as yung murder of prostitute Maude Merrill. Na which then, ang kaso daw dito is about jealousy. Jealousy lover. And to spoil you din, yung mismong killer din is her own uncle. Uncle niya mismo yung pumatay din sa kanya. So, with that, todo concealment, pero with experience of Thomas Barnes, he have solved sensational cases like yung mga nabanggit ko. Okay, so technically, ang na-contribute niya talaga is yung checking the patterns or yung modus operandi. Next, let's talk about Alphonse Bertillon. Alphonse Bertillon developed a system of identification. Okay? So, a French police clerk, diba? Yung systematic identification na tinatawag na nilang anthropological signalment or anthropometry. So, this is also called, diba? Other term is the Bertillonage. So, with here, paano nga ba gumagana to? Itong anthropometry. So, it incorporates muna yung sa head measurement. So, malaki ulo, yan. Circumference, yan, nilalagay yan. Physical description, yung mga nunals, yan. Identification, tattoos, birthmarks, scars, yan, nilalagay yan. Kay Alphonse Bertillon yan. And likewise, siya rin ang gumamit ng photographs. So, yung mga nakikita natin, minsan yung sa Rogues Gallery, yan, it came from him. Sa mga pictures, sa mga mugshots, it comes from Alphonse Bertillon. But, then again, may such case na nag-supersede sa anthropometry, sa measurement. It is yung kilala na West case na kung saan it is regarding the fingerprint. Yung pala may kaparehas siya na itsura. So, same body length, sizes, and everything kasi twin eh. But the difference is nahuli na magkaiba silang person through fingerprint. So, with yung Bertillonage para naging pangalawa, but it is also pa rin naman kinikilala. It is also made yung mga measurements pa rin for records. But it is then superseded for identification pa rin yung other criminalistic or science ng criminology. Next, let's talk about Dr. Paul Kirk. Si Dr. Paul Kirk naman ang pinakakilala rin na criminalist na naging professor sa University of California, USA. So, with him kasi nagkaroon siya ng deep love na sinasabi natin, deep love sa criminalistics, sa science ng identification, location, and whatsoever. So, with his help, syempre, nalagay niya na ng mga kulay, yung mga evidence na pagko-cross-reference niya na, and he is also a researcher and a criminology scholar as well. So, with this, na-establish niya nga yung research and academic discipline, he then found and developed yung more structured and scientific approach sa pag-aaral ng criminalistic. So, there, ayan, si Dr. Paul Kirk. So, he have given yung mga procedural, given manuals kung paano nga ba talaga yung most effective way in finding, cross-referencing evidences. So, that's Paul Kirk. And lastly, the most sensational case of Miranda versus Arizona. So, here, ang nilagay ko kasi dito is the US Supreme Court establishes, ito yung nabigay, procedural guidelines for taking criminal confession. So, with this, pinanganak na nga yung Miranda Doctrine natin through this case. So, ang kwento kasi niyan ganito. Ang name niya is si Ernesto Miranda, isang Latino na inakusahan ng kidnapping and rape sa state ng Arizona. Yung mga pulis ngayon, interrogate si Mr. Miranda. Diba? Yung mga gulat-gulat, yung mga ganyan. So, tinakot siya and whatsoever, threat, diba? Sabi nila, he have been tortured. Likewise, with this, nag-confess si Ernesto Miranda. Sa confession niya yon, na-charge siya, tried and convicted sa isang crime na hindi niya naman daw ginawa, allegedly. Okay, so then, pero inakyat to, nag-appeal siya sa Court of Appeals ng US, and likewise, ganun din ang decision. So, inakyat ulit sa Supreme Court, then sinabi ng Supreme Court, yes, the person is guilty, but yung pagkuha sa confession niya is, sinasabi nilang inhumane. Kasi, the confession made by Mr. Miranda is said na laying down the constitutional rights of a person. Kumbaga pinilit mo siya nagsalita si Mr. Arizona, confession, well, it may be true, but the thing is, under yung ating criminal psychology, pag mga gantong confession kasi, the person wants to stop the pain. Hindi siya nag-confess by his own will. Diba, dahil sa pananakot with the torture itself, para tumigil na ang usapan, sige, I'll confess na lang. So, that's the logic behind this one. So, there, binigay na nga yung Miranda Doctrine which gives a person's constitutional rights. Sinasabi siya kung ano yung nature ng offense. Na inadapt na rin natin noong 1973 natin na Constitution and as well yung ating 1987 Constitution. So, yun nga, kinilala na siya as our Miranda Rule Doctrine or Warning. So, there you go. The historical background of criminal investigation. I hope you've enjoyed this series and I'll see you again next time.